For many of us, climbing stairs is just part of our daily routine. However, for the millions of Americans with disabilities, stairs can present a tremendous challenge, and they may face other obstacles as well. The Americans with Disabilities Act outlines the physical accommodations that organizations need, but also guides employers about how to integrate the disabled into the workplace. Pam Henry knows firsthand what it means to overcome physical challenges in the pursuit of a meaningful career. She represented an entire generation of polio victims and helped to create awareness and understanding as a National March of Dimes poster child in 1959. But that was only a start. She went on to be a pioneer in broadcast journalism in Oklahoma as the first female reporter ever hired at WKY-TV. For years, she directed the news operation at Oklahoma's public television network, OETA. Now, Pam serves as the chairperson for the Oklahoma City Mayor's Committee on Disability Concerns. What do you see as the greatest challenge that employers face in complying with the Americans with Disabilities Act?
Personally, I think the biggest challenge for employers in complying with the ADA is their own thought process. As FDR said, we have nothing to fear but fear itself. It is not difficult to hire a person with a disability who's qualified for the job and then help them make accommodations if necessary, may or may not be necessary, but to go ahead with that process and realize that if that person is qualified, that the disability issues can be worked out. They are secondary. And in return, you will get an enthusiastic employee, one who's grateful to be able to work, and there is less turnover with employees with disabilities, so your bottom line will benefit.
What reasonable accommodations have you seen that are effective in employment situations?
There's an entire range of reasonable accommodations. What employers need to remember is reasonable, and that means it's not an undue hardship on the business. The federal government is not going to make you hire an interpreter to be next to a person 8 hours a day. In a small business, that would be an undue hardship. But some accommodations are so simple. I've walked on crutches all my life. When I went to work at Channel 4, all of the newscasters stood behind a podium to give the news. My accommodation was a stool to sit on. Very simple. Another simple accommodation, a man in a wheelchair took a job and he would be working at a computer and all of the desks were too high. Instead of lowering the desk, they simply built a ramp and a platform that was just about 3 inches tall and just rolled him up on his platform. Actually, he rolled himself up on his platform every morning. So accommodations can cost $5 to $10. Some employers go further than that and make substantial accommodations for people with severe sight and hearing problems. Computers, employers should know, already have adaptations for people who are blind or have sight loss. So generally speaking, people with vision loss already know how to work with a computer with programs that are on their computer and can be put on yours.
Next time, more of my discussion about the Americans with Disabilities Act with veteran broadcast journalist and advocate for the disabled, Pam Henry.